Good morning, everybody. This is very official. It's also very exciting. There are so many amazing things going on. We actually need a little more time to pray this through, work it through, and let everybody know what's going on with some exciting things that are happening. So we're going to move the membership meeting to April 5th at 7 p.m. Okay? And for more details, here's Pastor Rob.
Thank you. I know that was awesome. Thank you. You did that so well. And that's the thing. We are excited to have two additions to the membership meeting, okay? So the first one doesn't take a lot of explanation, and that is at the membership meeting, we are going to present who our search committee is bringing forward for the assistant pastor position for our membership to eventually vote on. So that person will be announced at the membership meeting. And then the vote will be May the 9th at another membership meeting, okay? So we'll let you know at the membership meeting who that person is that we are presenting to you. And then the second item, which is God has just been moving, and it's been so exciting and challenging at the same time to keep up with him, because there seems to be more that he continues to do. And so in January, we had our vision retreat. Every year we have a vision retreat where our ministerial and our congregational chairman, we take time and we vision forward. And we're like, God, what are you doing? And we want to keep in step with you. And so 3 years ago, we had a bigger vision retreat where God gave us this really amazing 10-year vision. And so each year we review it and just kind of keeping up, like, God, are we still on pace for what you're doing? Are we still keeping up? And in that 10-year vision, he let us know that there would be growth in this body. First, growth spiritually as we dig into the Word, right? But then there was also, he was going to draw people to this body. He was going to draw people here. And we needed to prepare for that. That was part of it. How do we prepare as leadership? How do we prepare to gather and flourish through this, those that he brings in? And so in January, during this vision retreat, we felt like God was starting to open the door to the idea of calling a third pastor and a family life pastor. But we're like, that's interesting, God, but I'm sure this is probably years down the road, right? You're probably setting us up to start to think about this. And we're like, okay, that's exciting. And then Pastor Brent let us know he was stepping down, and we, in February, started to pray and fast as a body. And God started to do some amazing things during that time of prayer and fasting. And he continued to impress on us as now a ministerial, but also as a committee, the search committee that was searching for another pastor, just impressed on us this idea even further of a third pastor. And almost day by day, he would start to affirm this in us, as leadership, each one of us. It was like amazing the things God was like speaking into us as we were praying towards this. Until the entire ministerial and search committee were like, are you catching this? Are you catching what God is like doing here? And so we felt like God was leading this thought, and we are trying to keep in step with him. We're trying to keep up. Like, God, really? This is exciting. And then through that prayer and fasting, it was like, I think the time might be now. Is it now? Right? And so what we did was we started to envision this position. What would it look like? What would it be called? What would some of the responsibilities be? Like, what are you leading us towards, God? And then another suddenly happened. We had this amazing godly man from our congregation during this time of prayer and fasting. God started to impress all these same things into him. And he came to us and he said, I don't know, have you as leadership ever considered a third position? Have you ever considered this, a family life pastor? And he started to basically outline everything we just created. and it was like one of those, oh, wow, Lord, are you doing something here? And he said, if that position existed, I think the Lord might be stirring me to apply for something like that. And so we were just, wow, God, this is amazing. We were actually fairly shaken by how God was doing so much day by day. So we kept praying, and we kept having discussions, and we kept trying to seek the Lord in this. And to the point now where we believe that we're supposed to bring this to you as a church body, as a church membership, because we could never present somebody to you without there being a position created, right? So the first step is that our membership needs to create the position of a family life pastor. And so that is basically what we are going to be looking at doing at the April 5th meeting. Is at that meeting, we will give more detail, and we'll give more detail in the days to come, but we will give more detail, we will have discussion, and then there will be an opportunity for the membership to vote on the creation of that position. No names attached, just the creation of the position. And the basic idea of what is a family life pastor, well, they would be like anybody else on our as our pastors. You're on ministerial, like our lay ministers and the other pastors. They would oversee and lead the small group ministry that we're in the process of creating, which will help to gather as we grow. They would oversee and lead potentially a college and career ministry, our social committee stuff. Oversee and lead men's and women's integrity stuff like our Conquer series. They would oversee and lead parenting classes and marriage enrichment events, and they would facilitate new and current attenders, like how can they engage in this church body? How can we engage together? And as you come and as you become a part of us here, how do you find a place? How do you plug in? Like all these types of things. Very excited about the possibility and the potential of this position. So in our prayers, each one of us on the ministerial and the search committee team, we've just felt affirmation after affirmation that now is the time to present this. And we believe it's the Lord's leading, and we ask that the membership at that meeting will consider it, and it will need to be voted on. So, we believe that the land and this position are all a part of what God is doing, as a part of Him preparing us for His bigger picture. And so it's really exciting how God is, sometimes it can be a little bit like your knees are shaking, right? Because God's bigger vision is so much bigger than mine. I'm not a big visionary, and yet here He has these bigger visions, and it actually makes me go, oh, wow, Lord, this is a little scary. But I think anybody, when you look at Scripture, it was a little scary when you're asked to lead the way, right? When you're at the doorstep of the Red Sea and you suddenly have to have faith that it's going to open, and all these steps along the way. And so that is our request, is that as we in the leadership believe that God is leading us towards this, it's still you as the people that have to come along and agree or not. And that's your role, is to pray and to seek the Lord, and not necessarily what you personally have a preference for, but what God is leading us towards. And so pray towards that. Is God leading us towards this? Is that the door He is wanting to open? Because then we got to have courage to faithfully walk in that direction. And so that's what we are wanting to do. We ask that you would pray and consider